I don't really know how to describe the sensations that I'm feeling, but I can say that as a journalist, I am breaking down. I have felt my stomach clenched. It's been hard to eat. Haven't been sleeping well. And I've been weepy, like crying on and off a lot in the last few days. And I think from a somatic perspective, as a person who practices intention and mindful movement and meditation, I think that this is a result of my body finally allowing me to process the scale of what's happening. And rather than like pushing against the emotions associated with the Epstein files and that disastrous Pam Bondi hearing and like just the sheer scale of what we're looking at as Americans and the corruption and the abusers in power and how they have shaped our entire world for so many decades. I think it's a normal, natural response to feel sick over that. I think it's to be expected. But as a journalist, I have long tried to put up guardrails against feeling those things and against, like I do my best to set boundaries with difficult news. I do my best to not allow it to make me feel this way. But the nature of the information ecosystem right now, where everything is on social media, the 24-hour news cycle that was already causing us burnout has now been brought to our devices that are in our hand truly 24/7. It's different than like turning on the TV after work and getting a barrage of bad news. It's different for it to be always on your phone, not just with social media, but with push notifications, but with texts coming in from people who are hearing about the same things from every social media app that you have, in your email, in your newsletters, these things not being mentioned at work, and you're supposed to go on acting like everything is perfectly normal. Like, I'm self-employed and I'm struggling because this is so overwhelmingly bad that there is no way to feasibly conceive it or process it without feeling it in your body, especially if you are a woman. Especially if you are a woman who is familiar with how sex assault has harmed women for generations. If you are a person who carries any kind of deep feeling or generational trauma, if you're a person who, if you're a millennial who like grew up going to Limited 2, knowing that Lex Wessler was running that as a pedophile. Like every time that you were in middle school and would get dropped off at the mall and would go buy lip gloss at Victoria's Secret, like, of course it was these creepy CEO men that wanted you there. Of course they wanted prepubescent teen girls to be trying on bras at Victoria's Secret because, of course, and just feeling all of that in combination with like, our water bankruptcy and how the Republicans are 100% going to try to steal the midterms openly, loudly, and the Democrats are just going to like let them. It seems like it's all encompassing and devastating and visceral and physical. And I don't want to do anything but sit and feel sad and cry and ignore it and numb out. And I think after trying to do that for so long, for so many years, of giving myself like, okay, you can cry on this day. You can be sad about it on this day. We're going to take the weekend to be sad about it, but the rest of the time we're going to pretend that everything else is normal. I think that strategy is buckling, like the dam is breaking for a lot of us, for all of us, certainly for me. I've, working in journalism, encountered some really horrific things over time, and this is by far the worst. I remember similar sensations of like my stomach clenching and feeling very unsure and just kind of like periodically bursting into tears after the Las Vegas shooting in 2017, when I was working in newsrooms and was kind of surrounded by wall-to-wall coverage of a horrific mass shooting for days. And I think the effect of that was so damning because it was wall to wall. It was something that we saw all day long, working in a newsroom, sitting at our desks, trying to process and help get the information out. And now that there are so many people who are creator journalists, there are so many people who get their information from social media and from digital devices, like that wall to wall is always. There's no break from it. You don't log off and go home and not look anymore. You don't get space unless you choose to actively take it. And when you're in a doom scroll, when you're in the mindset of everything is crashing down around me, it's harder. It's harder to maintain your boundaries around these things. Like, I tend to try to rather not be on my phone in the morning. Lately, I haven't been so good at that. I, try to limit my screen time. Lately, I haven't been so good at that. There's almost this sense of like, it's so bad that I can't look away. And that act of choosing to not look away is not as much intentional as it is subconscious, because the routines that keep me connected to these devices and to all of the bad news are so deeply programmed into me. And this is such a large scale problem that I am feeling it in a way that it feels impossible to look away. It feels like even if I wanted to, I couldn't. It feels like even if I wanted to look away, even if I wanted to not pay attention anymore, the scale of this is so large, and hope, fingers crossed, the impacts and the blowback will be so large that it will like completely restructure our entire government and our entire society, which, God bless, we need it. We needed it a while ago. Fuck the patriarchy, bring in the matriarchy. But not Pam Bondi, though. Only particular women. It's not so much that there's the responsibility to stay informed, because that exists. That's obvious. I'm a journalist. I do this for work. It's more the fact that it's so big that even in stepping away from it, you can't escape it. Even in taking breaks, you can't escape it, because the energy of it is so pervasive. The energy of it is so large, so monumental. I've been getting texts from friends all week who feel like shit, who can't process, who are struggling to go to work every day, who are feeling physical symptoms like I am. I don't know what the point of this is, other than to tell you that as a journalist, I feel it too. As a journalist, I work very hard to maintain my own boundaries around bad news, and sometimes those boundaries don't work. And sometimes those boundaries aren't enough. And sometimes you will get hit with it when you think you're doing fine, and you will burst into tears about something small. You will see a moment of a show where somebody is showing kindness and erupt. You will feel sick to your stomach and unable to eat, and also feel tired and angry and weepy. There's no one way to feel the kind of collective trauma that we're digging up right now, but it is massive. And I encourage you to seek out the people in your life who understand that and are able to support you in it, because anybody who doesn't or chooses not to, anybody that is still supporting this, anybody that is still defending this, does not represent American values, is not an American.